Hello, how are y'all? I have with me Jeffrey
Sager,
Sager.
yeah.
I got it. I did it right. And we're going to be talking about turkey roll, what it is, who it's benefiting, the routes that you can take, how you should prepare for the one next year. Because if you're wanting to do a long ride and you haven't prepared or done your homework, it might be a little rough time for you. But yeah, this is the 34th annual turkey roll put on by the Denton Breakfast Kiwanis Club, and this is benefiting youth service leadership clubs around Denton. And
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a local, the Breakfast Kiwanis, Dr. Jack Becker kind of runs the turkey roll.
Mm-hmm.
He's up in our, at UNT in the information technology department, and he's been affiliated with it for years. And yeah, they do this as a service, and it provides a really nifty, several types of bike rides
Uh huh.
that people can do all the way from 8 miles to right now it's almost 70
Six.
for
Yeah,
people that are really big
68.
turkeys to do, that want to take it on.
Yeah.
Um, the time of year is kind of unique. Most
Mm-hmm.
bike rides I've done, long range bike rides, about September, October, they're done because of,
Yeah.
temperature can go down. But the turkey roll is deliberately designed for people that are wanting something a little more challenging,
Uh
that
huh.
might want to try riding in coolness like it is today, cold and
Yeah.
windy. I've done them in the rain. It's
Oh wow.
yeah, it's an experience. It's navigating a bike, in weird weather. Bikes
Mm-hmm.
aren't real good on wet
Mm-hmm.
and wind. You have to be pretty secure in your riding capabilities on a
Yeah.
road type bike. So the turkey roll is a really neat opportunity for people who like to do bike rides to really test their stamina.
Mm-hmm.
I've quit it at least once and 7 miles from the end and felt horrible
Oh
about it. But it was
no.
really, really cold, and I had about frozen. And
Yeah,
so
you're
I've
like
done a lot of bike riding, and it's a unique ride, and it draws quite a few people to the Denton
yeah.
area.
Yeah. I mean, this has been going on. I didn't realize it was the 34th. I
I,
mean,
yeah, I didn't either.
it's been a
It's
minute.
been around for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a neat thing, and it's each year they've changed the route. Dr. Becker explained why. It's very safety oriented. They
Mhm.
have sag
Mhm.
wagons, and usually I think it's about every 10 miles they'll have a rest stop, and the
Oh,
volunteers. Oh
cool.
yeah, they'll take care of you.
Everything's yeah.
Yeah, and that's really really helpful.
Oh yeah, they have Zachary Road rest stop, Wishbone Pass rest
Yeah,
stop. Yeah, I mean that geez, that 68-mile ride
yeah,
really is.
yeah. That's over 100K. So if you do that, you can tell your friends I've ridden
You
over
did
100K.
it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fun ride, and anyway, I'd recommend it to people who are. I know a lot of people are enjoying biking because there's opportunities. I would say if you're not real keno on 68, there's a 52-mile ride, or
Right,
you can
and
do
if that's too
the one
much,
last time I did about 39 miles, which is a
okay.
blue route. That's a nice distance, and it's achievable.
Mhm.
It's something. But anyway, it's a good thing. It's well. The guys have been doing this. The Kiwanis guys and their volunteer groups have been doing this a long time. And I'd say of the ones I've done, it's one of the best organized bike
Mhm.
rides. So I just
It's
want to make
awesome.
sure if something happens, there's somebody there to help you.
Right. And I mean, even if you're too shy, there's an 8 mile,
Yeah, yeah. The
which I'm
thing that
like,
the thing to watch, if I know a lot of guys have been doing cycling, and it's really good exercise, but the thing to watch is the weather. Like, you never know what it's
mhm.
going to be. And the thing that's different about it, I would say, is because of the time of the year, it can get really cold. And once you're on a bike, the difference between running and riding is you're on a bike, you
Yep.
really don't have much control over it. You can't do much to avoid the wind.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of bundle up, and that's what happened to me the last time I did the turkey roll. It was really cold, and I got as far as I could, and
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, I had my phone, so I called my wife. So next time I do a long ride like that, I won't bring the phone. That way I have no option.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to just
but
finish.
or I would have had to get in the sag wagon, and that's even more embarrassing than having to call your wife. That's pretty. Yeah, she
Wife,
didn't
come
laugh at
pick
me
me
though.
up.
She
Oh,
was
that's
nice. That was
good.
good. Yeah, that was a
That's
really
you
good
have a
thing.
great
Yes,
wife.
I do. Yeah. Well, I'd rat on her for something else. But that's the thing. If you're thinking of doing it, it's not so much, gee, I can ride, 68 miles or
Mhm.
50 miles. I do a lot of it. It's the stupid weather, and because this time of year, is about when I would stop riding outside and ride on a trainer or something because I'm chicken. I
Yeah.
don't like cold. But that's what makes this unique. And if you have friends that aren't in Denton that really want to do something cool on a bike,
Yeah,
talk
this
them into
is
doing this.
a
Say, hey,
great
are
event.
you man or woman enough to do this thing?
Yeah.
And you can freeze your butt off. Oh no, I can do it. And then you'll have a good time. You can go and you can kind of mutually pressure
Right?
yourself through the thing because it gets about 3/4 of the way into it if it's cool. It's challenging,
Mm-hmm.
but you can do it. It's just how
It
much of
takes time.
you can be really exhausted
Mm-hmm.
and actually dehydrated because you'll be perspiring so much in the cold, and that's the part that got me last time is I'm not used to that the cold and perspiration. I'm used to heat and perspiration,
Mm-hmm.
and there's different. I'm not a PE guy or a kinesiologist, but my guess is
Yeah.
it's that's what's challenging about it, and I guess why they draw people.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have great weather. I mean, tomorrow though, because I mean, it seems
This would be
especially early
yeah.
on in the morning,
Well,
it'll
the other
be
one is the wind. Check the wind. Bike rides are fun because you go into the wind for a certain distance, and then the wind's hopefully on your tail. So, say
yeah.
the wind's out of the north, you've got roughly, probably 20 miles, 25 miles worth of direct into the north, or
Mm-hmm.
mostly direct into the north, and you're going to be getting hit with wind on your side or your front. Substantial, and that'll tire you out and tire your legs out. And then you get the nice thing is you get up here to Rudy's country
Yeah.
store and barbecue, so don't eat too much of that. And then you're going to be going back, and it'll be at your rear end, and that
Yeah.
is really nice on a bike. You get a nice little tailwind,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the other cool thing about this ride. Usually winds this time of the year, I think, are out of the north, and it sounds like it. So that'll be a challenge for guys, and it's something to achieve.
And it'll be something very
Yeah, it's an
rewarding.
accomplishment and
Yeah.
reward, and you'll see your stamina. And that's, I guess, what the other neat thing about these types of races at this time of the year is it's a stamina thing with the cold and the wind.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go home and crash, hopefully. Hope you don't have to go to work
Yeah,
because that'll be a
exactly.
pain.
I think when my sister did the MS, she sat in a tub full of ice for a while and she was screaming. So,
Yeah, yeah, recuperating. There you go.
yeah. What's one of your favorite bike trails to go on here in Denton?
Well, my favorite ride would be to go up Sherman Drive, like a lot of people do, and go all the way up to Aubrey and cut a little bit over 377 and then go north again, and you hit there's a church you go by just north of 377 about where is it called? It's in Krugerville, and you then you go
Okay.
north, you go east again for a couple miles, and you kind of loop back through. I don't even know the name of the roads. That's the bad thing. I never know road names. Then you go parallel to 377 about
Uh-huh.
3 miles north, and you go through the horse country. Generally, going up
Oh,
into
that's
Aubrey and riding in the
nice.
horse country on Pilot Point. The reason being, it's once you get past Highway 377, the traffic drops off a little bit, and there's lots of horse ranches, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just pretty. There aren't too
Mm-hmm.
many homes, and it's safe on a bike. And as
Yeah.
Sherman Drive's great because of the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Most people that ride out there, and so anything north of 377, and I've ridden
Yeah.
around all over out there. Um, that's it. This bike ride takes you up just east of Interstate
Yeah.
35
35.
and north of Sanger, and it's sort of like that there. They chose a good route. There's not a whole lot there. It's mostly rural.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't going to be much traffic. You can kind of ride with your friends, and one guy can, if you're doing the wind, you can draft off of people and kind of get a little bit of respite from the strain. And that's what I like about it. They've chosen a really safe route, and they've
Uh-huh.
stayed away from the frontage roads, it looks like, as much as
Yeah.
possible. That's cars and bikes don't mix.
What I really like riding down by Jim Crystal.
Oh, Jim Crystal Road, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I
Because
used
it's
to do.
lonely.
Yeah, that's okay if you're staying in Denton and you're constrained. I noticed a lot of guys ride up into Aubrey, and once you're
Mm-hmm.
in Aubrey, if you go north of Highway 377, you cross at the light. There's a light there's a Chaparral Exxon. If
Mm-hmm.
you cross there, you've got all kinds of options over in that zone that you can do, and you can actually go kind of curl north and go almost to Pilot Point, and there's all kinds of roads. You can find them. It's not that hard,
Mm-hmm.
and it's for somebody that just wants to get out and get away and has their cell phone. That cell phone is nice.
Yeah.
I didn't used to, most of my riding career, we didn't have those. So if you broke down,
Right.
you had to really be good at changing tire,
Or fixing
tubes,
whatever
fixing
was wrong.
tires. Yeah. Now you got a cell phone, you can call somebody. So it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah. What do you remember what your first bike was?
Yeah, I had the first serious bike was a Schwinn Varsity.
Okay.
It was in 1982, and it was about a 35-pound, very durable bike. And then when I got to Denton, I went to there's a bike shop by UNT called the Goose Inn, and I bought now I had a Centurion, which is it was a lighter bike, and then I have a Diamondback, which is I got it in 1991. It's my favorite bike. It's real easy to use.
Awesome.
But yeah, biking's people are finding it. It's a really good exercise, and it's something you can do with by yourself,
Yeah.
or
Not
with a
so-
friend.
Not so hard on your knees.
It beats
'Cause
running. Yeah,
that's
it beats
what-
running. Yeah.
It's one of my issues of running is that I have tendonitis on both knees, so biking was like my
Oh yeah, it's
way to go.
yeah, it's real fun, and these things like the turkey roll are great because if you have a friend
Yeah.
that you ride with or a couple of friends, y'all can go and you can ride as a pack, and you can I see people on rides chit chat. You make friends, you'll meet people. These races can be, if it's a nice day like it is today, you may pair up with somebody and just have a nice visit. I've actually met some of my students when I'm
Oh,
bike
that's
riding.
awesome.
I'll say, "Hey, Dr. Sager," so it's one of the guys, and we chat for a while, and then one of us will pull away. Usually them. So, but it's a really nice thing, and this is sort of a Denton community thing. It's been in Denton, and in UNT is Dr. Becker
Yeah.
is one of the faculty, and I know it's kind of a joint venture, I guess, between the Denton people and some of the people that have
And the
on the
university,
faculty. So I'm really glad you asked about it. It's fun, and there is a guy who wears. I've seen him at two
An
or three of
actual
these, a
turkey?
turkey helmet
Yes.
that, he's there, and he'll probably be there this year. So you'll see some, and you see people with kids pulling them along. That's the one thing
Yeah.
that's always surprised me on this ride. There's some little kid, and they're pulling them along in a kind of a chariot type
Yeah.
device. So it's it's entertaining,
And I mean, even like the 8 Mile, if you want to challenge your little
Yeah.
kid, you're like, come on, let's
People
do
have
this.
children, yeah, they'll do the 8 Mile. I think that's probably why they set it up. So if somebody wanted to take their daughter or son who's been riding
Yeah.
a bike, that it's certainly not a good idea to try to take a kid 30 miles
Yeah.
unless they're at least 14 years old or
Yeah,
12.
no.
But a 7 or 8-year-old could easily do
Yeah.
the 8 Mile ride. And so I think one of my friends has taken his son before, and that's a really nice thing to do with your mom or dad. Yeah.
I've always been I've always admired the kids that run with their parents.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Eric Nicholson, he runs with his 12-year-old, and they just did a race in New Mexico, and he won 5th overall. And
Yeah.
he's 12, and he's running actual like half marathons. And
Wow. I
Yeah.
see that. Yeah. So it's
It's-
the guys who set this up. I mean, if you're just doing cyclists, you probably do like 68 or 52 miles. But if you've got a community ride, you can go all the way from. They've dropped it to 8,
Yeah.
29, 39. So people of all calibers, of all levels of interest can do it. That's another good thing. It's the people that do this are Dr. Becker and his friends are real community oriented and active, and I call them Dentones. They're they're very Denton oriented and trying to get people to come here and see Denton and the neat things we have. And a turkey roll is one way to do it, even though it doesn't really go much through Denton. It does a little bit, but it gets them up here. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people it's hard to believe, but a lot of people still have never been here in the Dallas area, and there's quite a few cyclists. So that's another thing that draws them up here.
Yeah. And it supports a great cause.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good thing. Yeah, I don't know what the actual cost per, I'm not an accountant, but my guess is, Jack could tell you, but it probably generates, it's grown every year. It probably generates a fair amount of money for a good cause. So that's the other thing. Rides cost money, and
Yeah.
but
In the end, it's all a good time.
yeah, it's a
You
good
get
time.
to ride with your friends. You get to support a cause. You can say, I worked out before I ate all this food, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing they have at the rest stops. As I recall, some of them are crazy. They do have barbecue, which I can't imagine eating when you're riding.
No.
But they have plenty of energy drink, I believe, or water, and I think they may even have some coffee and stuff. But they they have good rest stops. Probably not as good as the one up in Wichita Falls, the big, the hotter than hell, but it has good rest stops and good support. And that's the other thing for the people that are doing the really lengthy ride, the two longer ones. That's a real helpful thing to have.
They're taken care of.
They're taken care of.
Yeah, if you want to find out more information about the turkey roll, you can always visit Denton Turkey Roll or the DentonBreakfastKiwanis.org. Visit either of those websites and you can get more information. If you think you'll do the 29 this year, challenge yourself for the 39 next year and so on. So I'm like, the 8 looks doable. I can do an 8. And I'm going to stop there. Yeah.
No, it's great. And thank you for asking me to comment on it.
This has been great. If you want to pick up, you can even pick up a flyer here at the Discover Denton Welcome Center. Visit either of the websites. And yeah, it's been good insight on this turkey roll.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, thank you.